Hello, I'm Jenny Smith, Chair of Homelessness Australia and CEO of the Council of Homeless Persons. The Australian Government has handed down its 2017 federal budget and we've been having a look at the numbers. This budget has maintained the existing levels of homelessness funding, but it hasn't provided the additional investment that we need to cope with the crisis facing this country. The Treasurer has announced the continuation of current funding agreements, and this means we can keep the lights on, but our services will still be turning away 275 people every day. Keeping funding levels static while homelessness is getting worse just leaves us bailing water on a sinking Titanic. This budget doesn't even come close to meeting the needs of the 300,000 Australians who we expect to seek help from our services this coming year. There isn't any additional investment for public housing, and the housing affordability measures that have been planned will barely touch the sides, getting the 200,000 people who are on our public and community housing waiting lists off them. We've heard a lot about the bond aggregator, and it will help community housing associations build a small number of new affordable housing properties. But there isn't any new money to subsidise the rent to allow those on the lowest incomes to be able to get into those properties. Under this budget, young Australians, 29,000 Australians under the age of 18, will remain homeless. The Treasurer promised to deliver a budget for fairness, opportunity and security for those doing it tough, and he's failed in that promise. The number of Australians experiencing homelessness has risen dramatically in a few short years, and numbers will continue to rise as they have been to date. The rough sleeping on our streets is the hard evidence of years of neglect and underinvestment by successive governments. At the root of our homelessness problem is a chronic shortage of affordable housing that's affordable to people on low incomes. There are things that can be done. There are meaningful measures that we can put in place to address the crisis in homelessness and housing affordability in Australia. The sorts of things we need to do is to roll back negative gearing and capital gains tax concessions. We've got to increase the supply of public housing. We have to create more short and medium term accommodation options. We have to get in early and prevent tenancy breakdowns. We know what works to end rough sleeping, and so we have to invest more in housing first and rapid rehousing programs. We need to focus on homelessness prevention, be at the top of the cliff as well as at the bottom of the cliff. We need to do more to bridge the gap for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people experiencing homelessness. The most fundamental form of security in our community is a safe and affordable place to live, and all Australians are entitled to that security. As the number of Australians experiencing homelessness continues to rise, we need a big picture approach. We need solutions that provide the evidence-based interventions that we know will end homelessness in this country. This budget is a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity to address the humanitarian crisis that we have here before us. And until we see bold and courageous leadership from our federal government, we will never end homelessness in Australia. Thank you.